Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for the first in a new series of videos that I'm very excited to announce and film here for the channel. This is going to be an ongoing series. Came up with a concept here to solve sort of two things that I think I need to do a better job about when it comes to, my hobby and specifically enjoying my hobby here on the YouTube platform. And the first thing is I need to do a better job giving shout outs more frequently to the many channels that I interact with and enjoy. I really see the value in that. I think it helps to build the community and obviously want to show my appreciation for the great channels that I enjoy watching. And in many cases, where I've gotten to know the creators, the content creators, and been able to interact with them. And the second thing that I want to do a better job at is enjoying the many cards that I already have in my collection, not just the new pickups, but cards that I haven't had the time to show on the channel. I've been collecting cards as an adult for 15 years now, but I only joined the YouTube community and the YouTube platform last year. And so I've got tons of stuff that I would love to show that I think you guys will appreciate and enjoy. And I just need to do a better job kind of showing it off and finding the time to do that. So I thought I would take these two issues and kind of kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and came up with a concept called Tip of the Cap. And in each one of these episodes, I'm going to pick one channel that I enjoy here on the YouTube platform, a sports card related channel, and I'm going to talk about that channel and why I think they're great. If I've interacted with them or had any experience with them, I'll talk about that as well. And then as I do that, I'm going to show cards from my own collection that I think would be representative of what you might see on that person's channel, or that for some reason remind me of that person, or what they might enjoy. Maybe it's a team they like, or a player, or a sport, or an era of collecting. I've got such a wide range of stuff that I kind of want to challenge myself and see if I can come up with maybe a half dozen to 10 cards for each one of these that I do, that are very, very fitting cards for the channel that I'm paying tribute to. So this first episode, tip of the cap to you, Peeps, formerly Peeps Wax Packs. I think the channel now is just Peeps, but I think most of you watching this have probably interacted with and are familiar with Peeps. Got an amazing channel over there. You've probably seen these hand-painted signs around on other channels, certainly on mine. It's been a little while since I dusted one off and took it out, but I do keep those. He's known for mailing those around, and you'll see them in the background of his pickup videos as well. Just a really awesome community member. And I decided to start with Peeps first because he's the only YouTube platform member that I've actually met in person so far in my limited time here on the platform. We were able to meet up last summer down by the docks in New Bedford, Mass, an old whaling town. Have a few beers and exchange some cards and talk cardboard. So that was awesome. And definitely consider Peeps to be a friend in the hobby. So the first card that I pulled from my collection is a Minnesota Twins card, because Peeps, of course, originally hailed from Minnesota, now lives on the West Coast out in the San Francisco area. But I did find this slab that I've never shown off. This is a nice 1966 Topps Harmon Killebrew in a lowly PSA 2.5. And this one made sense for a few reasons. And the lighting in here is a little weird today. I've got some background light trickling in, but I actually decided to leave that because that's something I've seen in some Peeps videos as well. So it's actually kind of fitting. Picked this one up for a song like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, I honestly think this card was like $12 or something like that. I've always been into, or at least since the very early days of returning to the hobby, have been into kind of low grade, high eye appeal vintage. And that was definitely the case with this Killebrew. Getting a card of a 60s Topps Hall of Famer in a PSA slab for less than $15 that looks this nice was just awesome. So have never had an opportunity to show it on the channel, but with Peeps being a Minnesota guy through and through, that is the first card that I pulled out today for this tip of the cap. And you'll see in the background here, I've also got a Peeps Wax Pack wrapper. So those of you that have been fortunate enough to receive a Peeps Wax Pack over time know that those are really incredible and often custom tailored to your favorite teams and players. And as a matter of fact, this Bobby Doerr in-person or TTM autograph card here is one that I pulled from a Peeps wax pack. So that gives you the idea, an idea of some of the fire that you can pull out of there. What else can we say about Peeps? He's a soccer fan, which I appreciate because there aren't a lot of us here on YouTube. It seems to be maybe the least popular of the 5 major sports, as far as I can tell. And furthermore, he's a big fan of Robert Lewandowski, however you want to pronounce it, for Poland, and plays in Germany as far as his league play. So decided this was a good opportunity. And again, the lighting's a little bit weird in here today, so bear with me, but a good opportunity here to show off this nice silver prism from 2016 Select. You can see those that the etching through this one is just gorgeous. This guy's really underrated, and I know he is a favorite player of Peeps. Has just been tearing it up both for club and country in recent years, and is quickly, joining the ranks of players like, Ronaldo and Messi in terms of career success. So wanted to get at least one Louis card in here as a tribute to Peeps, so hope you enjoy that one. One of the cool things that's kind of happened is I've gotten to know Josh a little bit, and we actually text back and forth, and I'm part of a text thread with him and Brian over at Walk and Bach and Sean from Sean's Stuff, and we'll also text, individually from time to time, and we've kind of grown to appreciate how we each approach the hobby and understand what we each collect, and we'll frequently kind of shoot each other links like, hey, here's a card you might be interested in, or what do you think of this one? And I have one of those today. This is the only other soccer card in the video, but a few months back I learned about these amazing Marvels inserts, net Marvels, from Peeps. He gave me the heads up on this, said you probably want to look for the press-proof version, which is a little bit shorter printed and a little bit scarcer and maybe more likely to hold value. And my Irving Holland collection was pretty weak at the time, and really appreciated the heads up on that. Jumped on this and was able to bring this home for under $20 delivered, and going to be a nice card to have as he moves to the Premier League starting later this summer and starts to play for Manchester City. So expect him to be all over the news as far as the soccer world goes in the coming months. So just an awesome one there. And it's a two-way street. I recently sent Peeps a text and gave him a heads up on a certain slab that I saw at a very discounted price that featured an awesome card, and I believe he picked that one up as well. So it's just really cool to interact with people that you meet in the hobby like this, and to be on the lookout for cards that others might appreciate as well, and to be able to help them kind of fill out their collections. And I'm glad I've been able to do that with Peeps over time. So there's a couple more. Peeps is a big Ricky Henderson guy. You've seen on a couple videos, at least pickup videos, he's revealed some awesome Ricky slabs, and for that reason wanted to pull this one out. Picked this up about 6 months ago and was just so excited to get this. The 1982 record breaker card from 1983 Topps for Ricky Henderson, most steals in one season, modern era. Just an awesome card. I love these record breaker cards. I think, I'm not positive, but this might be Cal Ripken Jr. in the background. Let me know what you think about that. If that's the case, that just makes the card even cooler. But even if it isn't, sucker for record breakers. I agree with you, Peeps, that Henderson is kind of criminally underrated. In fact, I have some other nice Henderson cards on the way that will be featured soon. But this one was snagged for around $20, and I just think that's crazy. I think these early 80s Topps baseball cards in higher grades like this, there's still some really good deals out there. And figured I would put that one out today just to acknowledge Peeps' love of Ricky Henderson. Another thing I've learned about Peeps, he's a fan of the Dynasty teams. So he loves like the early 80s Edmonton Oilers, franchises that have won multiple championships in short order. And I've seen him show off some really nice Oilers cards in particular, some that he got back in a recent grading submission. Guys like Gary Curry, Paul Coffey, Gretzky, Messier. So had another slab here that I've never really shown off on the channel or had a reason to. Features the two greats, or probably the two best offensive players, certainly from that Oilers dynasty, Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky on a combined card here. This is out of 83 O-Pee-Chee, and it's just gorgeous. I have been very fortunate enough to have this in a PSA 9. Picked this up a long while back, so this, didn't cost me what it probably would today. I know, Gretzky stuff's kind of gone through the roof. Messier a little bit less so, but thought this was a perfect one to take out. I'll just put it in the light here, just because it does feature the two greats from that dynasty that I know Peeps appreciates. And this is just a really solid hockey card, period. I mean, you're getting two of the, arguably top 10 offensive players in the game's history as teammates in one photo on one card here. And this came, just before the Oilers dynasty. They started winning Stanley Cups on the regular, like right after this set was released. And so it's a really cool card for that reason. Early Gretzky Messier card, and thought you would appreciate that one. Just a couple more here and we'll wrap this up. This tip of the cap to Peeps. So I mentioned he's a Minnesota native initially. He is a hockey fan as well, which I love. We just talked about that with the Oilers. But I think he's a fan of the North Stars and Wild teams, just because they're the regional teams where he grew up. And I've got a really sweet buyback here that I've never shown off, but I think he'll enjoy this one. The Mike Modano all-rookie team. It's a rookie card from the first ever Upper Deck release in 1990. And it is the 20th anniversary stamped buyback that came out in the 2010 Upper Deck French product. Pretty rare card. I've shown a few of these before. Was really excited, I think, earlier this year to pick up the Yager rookie of this buyback. It's not really known, but in my estimation, there are fewer than 25 or maybe even fewer than 15 of these produced of each guy. You just never see them. And this Modano rookie, one of the better North American born or U.S. born players, ever. And I shouldn't say North American born, really U.S. born players ever. And really, really happy to have that one in a buyback format. That's a sneaky good card and probably one of the better North Stars cards that I could put my hands on kind of in short order. So I wanted to throw that one in as well. And then lastly, I know Peeps is a big fan of baseball history, as am I, and those old, 40s and or more so 50s and 60s cards, and in particular the Negro Leagues and players that integrated and helped to break down the color barrier, things of that nature. And so along those lines, I have a one-star player here that I know Peeps is a fan of. I think we have even talked about this card recently, but the 1954 Bowman Mini Minoso. So grabbed this raw copy probably a year or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. Just love this card. I'm a big fan of Minoso. He was able to at least have a couple of at-bats in Major League Baseball, like at an age that's pretty astounding. He's worth looking up. Very interesting life. Really, really good player. And of course, I'm just a huge fan of the 54 Bowman set. And I know this is a card that Peeps enjoys as well. And I hadn't had a chance to show this one on the channel either. So there you have it. We'll wrap it up with the Mini Minoso. And that's going to conclude the first episode of Tip of the Cap. So again, tip of the cap to you, Peeps. Love everything that you do over there on your channel and what you bring to the community. Hope you keep it up for many years to come. And if you haven't had the opportunity to familiarize yourself with Peeps and his body of work, I will leave a link below. Please be sure to give him a visit and a sub and tell him that Shoebox Legends sent you over. I'm sure you'll be welcome. And to everybody else, I really appreciate you stopping by. And I'll certainly be back with another installment of Tip of the Cap in the very near future. Until then, take care.